Good morning again, everyone. I am Kate Stewart. My pronouns are she, her, and thank you for coming to the Proclamation for International Pronoun Day. This is the third year that we've been doing this on the County Council, and I was glad to lead it in the last few years. It is something that I did when I was mayor in the city of Tacoma Park. International Pronoun Day actually started in 2018 and is celebrated every third Wednesday of October. And before I continue, we're giving out some buttons that we will pass around, as well as a handout to explain the importance of making sure that we're recognizing people's pronouns. But first, let's have everyone who came today introduce themselves quickly.
Jennifer Weedle, Program Manager for Ending the HIV Epidemic.
Megan O'Brien, Advocacy Specialist, EveryMind.
Yvette Scores, Rainbow Youth Alliance.
My name is Philip Alexander Downey. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm the CEO of the Montgomery County Pride Family Moco Pride Center.
My name is Shane Hennies. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm the Program Director for the Rainbow Youth Alliance.
My name is Wes Woods. My pronouns are they, them, all, and I'm the Program Director of Marketing and Inclusion for Living Your Truth.
My name is Lee Blinder. I use they, them pronouns. I'm the Executive Director of Trans Maryland. I'm also the Chair of the Maryland Commission on LGBTQI+ affairs.
Should I go to Krista Mink, she, her pronouns. I represent District 5.
Thank you. Charlotte Persephone Hoffman, they or she. I am the Policy Director with Trans Maryland, and unrelated, I am also the first Vice President of the Maryland State Board of Morticians and Funeral Directors. So if you have mortician or funeral director things, you can come to me.
I can't beat that. My name is Nina Blecker. I'm she, her. I'm the Director of Development at Rainbow Place Shelter.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for being here. So the reason we're here and we celebrate International Pronoun Day, as Councilmember Lukie talked about before, it is about recognition, but it is also about dignity and respect and making sure members of our community are seen for their true identities. Too often, we make assumptions about people we see based on clothes, based on name. And I do just want to remark on the clothes today because people are bringing it. So thank you. But lots of times these assumptions are made and they're not correct. And in particular for our transgender and gender nonconforming communities, many times people make assumptions about them. And we know these are also communities who are under attack right now in our country. And we need to make sure that here in Montgomery County, we are not only treating people with respect and we're saying it, but we actually really put that into action. And so we are recognizing International Pronoun Day to make sure people understand the importance of recognizing and using correct pronouns, the importance of doing it in different ways, like your signature line in your email, or if you have a name tag, putting your pronoun. Thinking about those little ways is how we're going to ensure that here in Montgomery County, we don't just talk about being a welcoming, inclusive community, but we're actually taking action to make sure people are seen in our communities. And I just want to say also, I was really thrilled earlier this year to celebrate the physical opening of the Moco Pride Center. And I just can't tell you all the work that is being done by the folks who are up here and other people who aren't here because I got stuck in the awful traffic this morning. But it is just an honor to be here with each and every one of you for all that you're doing for our community at this time. And now I'm going to turn it over to Councilmember Glass to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Council President Stewart. And I so very much appreciate your leadership over the last 3 years, recognizing this important day. And as you also noted, this really continues to build upon all the work that's been done here in Montgomery County over the last number of years, from raising the Pride flag for the very first time 7 years ago, to opening the Pride Center earlier this summer, to celebrating 3 years of International Pronouns Day, because I think now more than ever, we need to instill more love and respect in our public discourse. It doesn't hurt to address somebody properly. It doesn't hurt to address someone respectfully. It doesn't hurt to respect other people. That's really what this is all about. And here in Montgomery County, the most diverse place in the country, we need to continue living our values, living our truth, and respecting our neighbors. So thank you to all of our advocates, all of our community leaders, and everybody who wants to continue making Montgomery County a safe and welcoming place for everybody.
I now will have Councilmember Kristen Mink.
Thank you. What a great day to be able to celebrate. And I wanted to just take this opportunity to answer a question that I've heard a number of times, which is that in light of the Supreme Court ruling, that does not change our curriculum in Montgomery County one bit. It does not change the books on our shelves. It does not change the books that we are teaching. And there is no need for us to change our behavior. We know that we are doing the right thing. We know that we have a strong, inclusive curriculum, and that's the way it's going to stay. The opt-out ruling allows some families to opt out, of which a small handful out of the many, many, many thousands of families being served by MCPS have done so, and we will continue to teach what we know to be the right thing to do. And I just want to note that when one of my kids came home from school just recently and started telling a story about a student said, the funniest thing happened today. I'm gonna make up a name, but Sam, did you know that this kid goes by Sam now? And I said, oh, no, I didn't. And I was like, oh no, if this is a funny story, we're gonna have to have a conversation. And my kid said, well, Sam found a worm. And the story was that Sam has changed their name. Sam is using they, them pronouns, and that was not even the story. The story was about the worm. And I say that to say, the kids are all right. The kids are fine. This is important. Sam feels embraced, as they should. And the adults, we don't really need to worry about that. We're teaching the right things here in Montgomery County. We're going to continue doing that. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And I just want to recognize we have representatives from Congressman Raskin's office joining us this morning. Thank you so much. And now we are going to hear from West from Living Your Truth.
A little taller. Yeah, there we go. Good morning. Good morning, community members. Good morning, council members. Good morning, everyone underneath my voice right now. To introduce myself again, I am West H. Woods. I am my pronouns are they, them, all. I am the current program director of marketing and programs for Living Your Truth, which is a Moco Pride family organization where we are dedicated to visibility, strength, empowerment, and education for the LGBTQIA youth and young adults in our community. Through our work at Living Your Truth, I see how pronouns make people feel safer, a classroom is safer, a workplace feels more welcoming, and just giving out education and advice feels so much safer in that space where we are able to communicate with each other on that base and that level. So over time, in recognition of this day, simple language holds incredible power, which I've learned over my journey. How you address someone, how you look at someone, how they look at you, how they view you is very important. So today, it's not just about action, but it's also about learning and love. Recognition becomes connection over time. And I've learned that in my professional workplace, around my friends, around just out in my community, just building connection over time. So I want to say thank you to Montgomery County for always recognizing us people all as one, the they, the thems, the alls, everyone underneath the sun. And once again, we do have the physical Moco Pride Center. So if you would like to visit me and be in resources or in community, we are open Monday through Sunday. And there we respect all people, and we would love to see your faces there. So thank you again today for having me to speak. And I hope that everyone continues to build connection through recognition. Thank you.
Thank you so much, West. And now we have Shane.
Good morning. My name is Shane Hanais. My pronouns are he, him, his. I am the program director for the Rainbow Youth Alliance, serving 13 to 18-year-olds across the spectrum of LGBTQIA sexual orientations, and gender identities in Montgomery County. Though pronouns have become such a buzzword for the trans community, they're not just for trans people. Everyone, whether they're cisgender or transgender, uses pronouns or other identity terms that feel good for them. And by leading with our pronouns, as I did at the start of this speech, or including our pronouns in our email signatures, we're intentionally creating space for others to share their pronouns too. I'm going to take it a step further and talk about perhaps the most important thing about pronouns is not that we share ours, but that we hold ourselves and others accountable to using the correct pronouns. At our most recent Rainbow Youth Alliance meeting, one of the youth shared with me that they found RYA because they didn't feel like their school GSA was a safe space. And I asked the group, why didn't it feel like a safe space? And what does feel like a safe space? And they said, even though they were encouraged to share their pronouns in their GSA, they weren't always respected, and there wasn't a norm for helpfully correcting peers when they got it wrong. So we came to a consensus as a group that we would correct others in our space, not to reprimand people for doing the wrong thing, but because everyone deserves to feel safe and seen. Like the youth that RYA serves, I know what it's like to constantly navigate a society where you feel psychologically or physically unsafe as a trans person. And in that kind of environment, hearing something as seemingly simple as he or she or they can feel like a tank of oxygen in deep water. And this is something so small but so big that we can do every day to support our community members during this challenging time. So thank you to the council for making this proclamation and leading by example with sharing your own pronouns and making a commitment to respect others as well.
Thank you so much, Shane. And we have some resources here if people want them. And because I think the point you made about how we gently correct people in spaces is really important. As the mom of a trans son, making the transition myself and being in a space in our own family with other family members and friends and giving the people that space and learning how to do it well takes some time. And that's all on us to do that work. So thank you for pointing that out. And we have some great handouts if people would like to take them to figure out how you best can be an ally in this space. And so now we'll read the proclamation. All right. Whereas International Pronouns Day began in 2018 and takes place on the third Wednesday of October in order to make respecting, sharing, and educating about personal pronouns a standard practice, and
whereas just as we don't want to assume a person's ethnicity or race by appearance or name, it's important not to make assumptions based on the gender identity of another person based on that person's appearance or name. And
whereas referring to people by the pronouns they determine for themselves is basic to human dignity. It not only shows that we recognize others for who they are, but it's also a sign of respect and courtesy. And
whereas being referred to by the wrong pronouns particularly affects transgender and gender nonconforming people, and
whereas we encourage elected officials and residents to consider how they can help normalize the practice of sharing pronouns, such as including them in correspondence. And
whereas Montgomery County takes pride in being a welcoming, caring, and diverse community that strives to uphold individuals' human right to dignity. With the current administration stripping away people's rights and their identity, it is essential that we continue to uphold our values in creating an inclusive environment. Together, we can transform society to celebrate people's multiple intersecting identities.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland, hereby recognize October 15th, 2025 as International Pronouns Day, presented on the 14th day of October in the year 2025 by Councilmember Glass, Mink, and myself, Kate Stewart. Thank you, everyone.